So will Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 have a classic prestige system? And I want to talk about this, guys, because I guess you could say I'm one of the older school, players within the Call of Duty community where I played COD 4. That was my first Call of Duty experience. And the classic prestige system was something really special. You would rank up to level 55 or level 80, and then you had the option whether you wanted to prestige, which would reset, your weapons and all of those things back down to level 1, and then you would go through the ranks. And for prestiging, you would go ahead and get like a really cool emblem, get some a new calling card, things of that nature, and some new emblems. And I loved this system because it felt like you were earning something as you went along the journey. Whereas, you're probably thinking, well, we have a prestige system. Well, the prestige system now is like a seasonal prestige system. It's very, very different, in my opinion. It just kind of, changes, from season to season. And are we going to go back to that classic, OG prestige system? And the answer to that, guys, at least in my personal opinion, because MW3 is somewhat of a reskin of MW2. They are adding things, but it's definitely going to be more or less a reskin of MW2. I would have to say that it's not going to happen. They are going to continue this seasonal prestige system where they're going to add prestiges as you go, as you level up, you're going to get like new emblems and or a new rank and things of that nature as you go. Who knows what how far they're planning on taking it. I personally just feel that the earnable items over like the more payable items, they're trying to monetize the experience. And I understand from a business perspective, what they're trying to do here. But there was something really special about, going back to MW2 and those days, there was something to be said about getting to the 10th prestige, ranking all the way up, and then ranking up, all of your kill streaks and all of those things to a place where you would get the 10th prestige medallion. The 10th prestige medallion was like a coveted item. It was so coveted at that period of time that there were like modded lobbies. People were hacking to get up to that and have it in there, as their emblem. And then, like the 10th prestige emblem and the calling cards and things of that nature. There was something to be said about that. That era of Call of Duty was the best, in my opinion, because it was like a simple system, but it was also grindy. It was hard. It was difficult. And that's why so many people were hacking and botting and things of that nature. It was just a very different time in Call of Duty history. But do I think that they should go back to this, the classic prestige system? I absolutely do. This would be something I believe needs to happen. I don't think that they should continue the seasonal prestige system. And I don't believe it's going to change here with Modern Warfare 3. When I think that it will change or could potentially change will be next year with Treyarch's Call of Duty title. Black Ops, 5 is what everyone's thinking it's going to be, or like a Black Ops Cold War 2. I would much rather prefer a Call of Duty Black Ops 5. But that being said, I believe that would be the time at which they would change it from this seasonal prestige system to just a prestige system. And maybe they add ranks as they go. Maybe you start with 10 prestiges and then you get up to that point and then, they add 10 more or whatever the case may be with new emblems, new, icons, logos, all of those different things, so that you can show that off to everyone. And there was just something about back then, looking at when you were in a lobby, you would see everyone and what their rank was and their emblems and things of that nature. And you would see, wow, someone's already at the 10th prestige. It was such a grind and such a journey to get there. And it felt like it was so well earned when you did it. And you did it legitimately, of course. But it would get everybody else in the lobby to start, really looking at your character or looking at your, man, how did he do this? How many hours has he put in? All of those different things. And you would look at different profiles. There was something very special about that time in Call of Duty. And I believe that we need to go back to that. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Do you think that we should continue with this seasonal prestige system or go back to the classic prestige system? And for those of you who weren't around to play those, the classic prestige system, you really missed out. And I would recommend going back to some of the older Call of Duties, trying those out, whether it's the jetpack games or even the older ones, and just seeing what that prestige system was like. Very, very special. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'd love to have a conversation about this. Let's talk about it.